everybody, welcome back, and hope you're enjoying your holiday season. We are going to be reviewing a movie that came out last year and that Jessica has recommended, Violent Night. Basically, to sum up this movie, is basically imagine what Die Hard would be if Santa was John McClane.
Yeah. You might remember a couple years ago, Will and I reviewed a movie called Fat Man that had a similar premise. It was an action movie where the main character was Santa.
Yep.
Um, Controversy aside, in that movie, Santa was played by Mel Gibson, and we were willing to give it a chance because it looked ridiculous and funny. And it was not that.
No, unfortunately not.
Yeah, all the great action stuff was just put in the last 10 minutes. It was just this slow, boring drama. It wasn't what was advertised, so we couldn't get into it.
To be honest, a lot of it pretty much faded from my memory.
Yeah. I just remember all that action stuff was just in the last 10 minutes.
So then we get to this new one that has actually gotten pretty solid reviews, and the best way I can describe it is a bunch of bloody and violent fun.
Yes, it's
Guys,
basically Home Alone meets Die
I really
Hard
look
with David Harbour as Santa.
Sorry, what were you gonna say, Alexa?
I've seen my share of horror movies and seen also horror video games. As soon as you said blood, I'm like, I've seen Raccoon City cinematic game movie. Blood to me does not phase.
Um,
So what can we say, about this movie without giving too much away?
well, one thing, so we have John Leguizamo as the main villain, and he has all these minions with him who are just like in Die Hard, but they all use Christmas-themed code names. And if
Okay.
you pay attention, the code names do foreshadow things about those characters. So
Yes.
there is some heart.
Yeah.
Also, Santa's only form of communication is a little girl who is starting to have trouble deciding whether she believes in her or not. The parents kind of reveal that Santa isn't real to her
Yeah,
early
which
on in the movie.
Well, it's mostly the dad who really doesn't contribute much, I think.
No, he
In
does
this
not.
movie.
But he does steal the money. Spoiler for later in the movie.
Okay, yeah.
That's all he
okay.
contributes. But a lot of the Home Alone stuff comes from her. We get this whole sequence where she pretty much just goes Home Alone on two of the bad guys, which was great and fantastic.
Which makes her seem more creative than I think some people might give her credit for.
Yeah,
Get
this
strapped and get clapped.
the actress playing the little girl was great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and she can we just agree that her sequence in this movie, which is probably what 5-6 minutes long,
Yeah.
where she has to do all the Home Alone traps on these two bad guys, that is more Home Alone than anything in the sequels.
And you could
Although,
tell because it was just like I was like, oh
well,
my, yeah.
quickly going to the Home Alone, while the second one wasn't like as good as the original, it did have a few creative moments, but yeah, like the third, fourth, and fifth ones, yeah, those were pretty terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah, in all fairness, after seeing the first Home Alone and like the second one, I was like, okay,
yeah. Will and I have covered the third and fourth.
Yep,
get
the
the
fourth
first
one's
after.
actually our most viewed video, I think, on this
Yeah.
channel,
Yeah.
Yeah,
which
Makes
I think
sense.
everybody agrees the movie's pretty terrible.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to a Violent Night. So, yeah, and like you said, they even referenced Die Hard in this movie as well, which
Yeah.
was pretty funny. We even said like before the movie starts, this is basically a secret sequel to Die Hard.
I could see Quentin Tarantino watching this movie.
I think
Yep.
we should also talk about the man himself, David Harbour as Santa.
Yeah. They do something interesting by giving Santa a backstory,
Yeah,
which
which
David Harbour sells. He's got the bod to do this.
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Now, I think a lot of people know him as Hopper from Stranger Things, which rightfully so. That you could argue that's his most famous role. But he was also in the 2019 Hellboy, which was bad. He was in Gran Turismo, which came out this year, which was surprisingly really good.
I've yet to see that one.
Maybe we could see that for a review sometime.
Sounds good.
Um, but yeah, I think this could. I think if you just give him like a really good script, he really can turn out a really good, a great performance.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
agreed.
like Santa was. I'm not gonna say he was miserable in
He
this.
was pretty washed up at the beginning. I think most of the movie's just him just he's pretty much just bummed out about all the greed in the world and all the problems in the world.
Well, it's
And
also
it's
like
kind of bumming him down, but he kind of finds his spark again.
well, it's also like kind of what we discovered that it's kind of relatable to today. How a lot of people want like the hottest new things that are out right now, like the best clothes, the newest technology, everything.
And the three of us here, we're not we're susceptible to that. Like the three of us, I think we can agree sometimes want the hottest new thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but we
I'm
don't I don't always like go out and seek it.
collectively.
Um, Now when it came time for the action, which I think we also have to give credit for, because like Jessup said in Fat Man, that didn't really come until the last couple of minutes into the movie. When really we had to wait only 30 minutes for the action to really
It was
kick
20
kick
actually.
in.
I could be wrong though. And also on top of that, it's there throughout the whole movie. It's just this one night. And also a lot of the deaths are creative and are only ways Santa could kill someone in an action movie.
Oh yeah, it was like I said, it was gruesome, but it was very enjoyable.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a good example of one that's like early on. Oh yeah, stabbing the guy with the star from the tree and then plugging in the star itself.
Oh, that was brutal.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen little
that's
films like the
creative and a Christmas
Bananas.
Eve kill. Something you would want to see in a movie like this. And there's
Yeah.
others in the movie, some of which would be big spoilers if I reveal them.
Probably best to keep it to a minimum.
Yeah, I think that's the only one I can really share.
All right, but I will say I feel like the would you feel like the whole Santa being upset about like the greed and everything that kind of disappears for a while until like the very end, don't you think?
I think kind of Trudy, the little girl, I think that really just having Trudy to talk to really helps with that, and
Hmm.
that's why he like his hopes rekindled that there's still good in the world. I mean, he's saying this is going to be his. He's saying early in the movie that that night's going to be his last Christmas. Last time he does the whole routine of going from house to house.
Yeah. Another thing I thought was kind of weird is how they try to make John Leguizamo's character kind of sympathetic when they didn't really do that for Hans Gruber in the first
I
movie.
don't think they were trying to make him sympathetic because he says he might have actually killed that guy.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I
But
think they're just trying to make him more evil,
they try to give him some kind of like sad backstory, though. It's like okay,
which
that doesn't really
backfires. Which is, I think, is the point. Is that it's supposed to backfire?
right.
Yeah, it does, right?
But yeah, that just felt a little weird. But that's just my take.
No, it was valid. I think it was valid.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I saw this in theaters last year, which is why I been requesting this, and I loved it. I was on a date. She did not like it. She thought it was too gruesome, which I can understand.
Now I do.
So I was like scared of like violence. I'm like, dude, if I was in a position, because I like horror, I'm like, I ain't no pussy.
To
I
be honest, like
literally like horror and action. I don't mind gore and violence. I really don't.
I know it's not for everyone, and I respect that. We know Anna doesn't like horror.
to be honest, when I only saw the first trailer when I saw a movie in
Right.
theaters,
Yeah.
and I thought, oh, that actually looks like a lot of fun. I'll probably go check it out. Unfortunately, never saw it in theaters. This was really my first time watching it in its entirety.
And you liked it?
Yes, I have to say I had a really good time with this.
Should have gone. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Also, that opening where he throws up on the bartender,
Oh God.
that just
All
tells
right.
you what kind of movie you're in for.
Oh
You don't
yeah.
need to think too hard about this one.
Bartenders are literally they have horror stories about clients doing that. So it's like
Yeah. Well, no, he throws up on her as he's leaving in the sleigh. I believe.
So, any closing thoughts you want to give?
yeah, I like to make one. I liked how the storyboard and the script was more engaging than other action we've seen in a while. And I've seen my like in high school in theaters in person, right? I like to point out if it's the first 10 minutes and you're getting kind of like the script is kind of bland, it's okay if the movie totally doesn't meet expectations right away. Give it time. And I was drawn to the rest of the half of it because you know what? good scripts make me want to draw, literally. So it's like if
Right.
I'm not drawing, then this shark ain't biting.
What about you, Jessup?
Uh, I got nothing. I'm just
Okay. Yeah,
glad we
this
finally got around to this one. I've been
this
waiting all year for this.
this was a lot of fun. I have to say, this movie definitely met a lot of my expectations.
No,
Good because
So I'm actually going to talk to Jessup about what we're going to do next week. I'm going to try to come up with some good ideas.
yeah.
But we'll let you guys know later on.
cool.
And until next time, have a wonderful holiday season if you celebrate Christmas. And if we have time, we'll do one more next week. And if not, we'll see you in the new year.